what's up, and welcome to Comic Book Nation. We are at Comic-Con with the comic book team. Today with me are Phase Zero hosts Brandon Davis, Jenna Anderson, and our man Chris Killian is back there, and assistant managing editor Joe Schmidt is here too, because why not? Let's bring everybody. So this is our Comic-Con kind of recap, our little bonus episode where we are going to talk with the comic book team about what they've been out and about doing at Comic-Con 2024. Thank you guys for joining me, because I know everybody's tired and we're all just pulling it together to kind of fire off some great stories and shenanigans. This is crazily the first time I've seen everybody in this studio in the 2 days we've been here. It's been busy, as you can expect. Yep. I've talked to you guys in the audience before I've seen them here in the studio, so that's how things are going. But we got some fun things to share with you guys today. First up, let's keep this nice inverted pyramid. We got to talk about what happened at the DC panel today. DC did something right today. Jenna, you were in the room to see DC do something incredibly right. They launched a logo that seemed to make, you know, people happy for once. We didn't get, like, you know, war in the streets about something DC did. It's been a long time.
So the bullet logo, which is the logo that they are now using for DC and DC Studios, is nothing new. If you are a DC Comics fan, they brought it out in like the 80s. It was a whole point of contention at the time because allegedly they spent like tens of thousands of dollars hiring a marketing agency, and they ultimately got what they did. But it is iconic. It is my favorite logo of all the DC logos. So I was so pleasantly surprised to see that that's now the official one. You're so distracting.
Sorry, I'm so sleepy right now.
I understand. But yeah,
what do you mean? The stars on that circle didn't wake you up?
Didn't I was going to say, you're so composed, Kofi. I'm back here very impressed because I'm slap happy.
Oh, yeah.
Shaking like an angry... Oh, that's...
No. Oh man,
well,
but yeah,
that Deadpool movie yet.
That's subject to. Let's subject to. This makes me remember season 1 of doing Comic Book Nation. We were all crammed on a couch doing this kind of stuff all the time. But yes, we got. I can't believe they paid a marketing department just to tell them go back to the thing.
Well, so that this was not a marketing department this time. James Gunn via video message he did, because he also showed the Creature Commandos trailer, which
let's talk
amazing.
about that in a second.
But so then he also had a second video message to unveil the logo, and he kind of said when he and Peter first joined DC Studios, like they knew immediately that was the logo that they wanted, and so it's going to be on every DC Studios project, and then it'll be back on all the comics as of October. So
yeah,
is the Creature Commandos trailer online?
It is.
Yeah, it is.
I feel like you guys are breaking news to me right now. I've been so we've been hitting
it is so.
I was like, there's a Creature Commandos trailer.
You guys have been in the studio. I didn't leave my room. I kept trying to leave my room today, and then every time I did, something else would happen. We got a new boys show. We got a DC logo.
I heard about the prequel.
Crazy things are just happening like everywhere. So
I was busy hugging Norman Reedus.
Yeah, you were hugging Norman Reedus. We were just
you were leaning with
going.
You were leaning with Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Bruce Campbell was so aggressive with me. He just so
Bruce
aggressive.
Campbell like just grabbed.
Okay, that
we
way.
wrestled right here.
You almost got scared by a face hugger today.
He also showed Bruce Hugger
Bruce Hugger.
That's how
we're doing real good. We're doing real good.
Bruce Campbell, the Deadpool Wolverine popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell.
What did he do to it?
He was offended.
He took it with
him. No.
He was viscerally
That was
offended.
my popcorn bucket.
It's Bruce's now.
Yeah,
I don't want it back. You don't want that back. Yeah, not after tonight. Just let that one go. So
man took that popcorn bucket, said all butter, no popcorn, please.
Oh man, we're gonna pull this back. Yeah, let's pull this back.
It's Deadpool weekend. It's
Deadpool. We were gonna get to the Bruce Campbell stories,
I'm sweating.
but obviously they are already out there. So let's pull it back to DC logo. Yeah, to just sum this up. I was happy. That was the logo I grew up with for every one of those DC toys I played with, for all like my little Super Friends cartoon experiences. So yeah, let's go back to it. A couple stars makes a big difference, right? Yeah, there we go. So we're going retro. All right. Deadpool Wolverine, which I feel like is the spirit of this interview right about now.
Like Deadpool I can think about this whole weekend.
I am also sleepless because I went out and saw it because I got mad. We were standing out at a party last night at Comic-Con. Hall H let out. Brandon Davis, you were in Hall H for that screening event. And the streets literally just started to flood with Deadpool Wolverine spoilers. people screaming and going off and just saying, I can't believe it. And then I screamed and ran to the night of San Diego, got an Uber, and went out to a movie theater after midnight and was like, all right.
Just to avoid spoilers. That's dedication, man.
Yeah,
Seriously.
I couldn't take it.
What's the spoiler policy for this show right now?
We can't spoil anything because
Okay.
they're going to probably come for us unless we put a spoiler warning on there. And
Understandable.
Don't do it, Brandon.
Yeah, so
I haven't
don't
even
do
seen
it.
the movie yet.
It's wonderful.
Sure.
No spoilers.
Yeah, no, Brandon Davis has been on the Deadpool Wolverine beat for like a week straight.
Nah, I feel like it's been like 2 months
Yeah,
straight.
It's been a
honestly.
lot, yeah.
But you get like the Men in Black treatment, so you can rewatch it for the first time every time.
Yeah. Mickey does it to me every time I walk out of the theater, and then you go, shh, look right here, and then ching, and I'm
Yeah,
like, oh,
I mean,
never
you
saw
should
the
just
movie.
be like the kit boy for Hugh and Ryan now. Just be like, I got your kit, sir. I have your nail clippers. I have your shaver. Like anything they need, hot towel, like all that. Because
Probably
you've
be
been-
easier than
Kofi,
hosting
you
in
do
this
this
studio.
in that accent all the time.
It comes and
For
goes.
the
Well,
rest
I got
of the
It comes
I
and
got a serious
goes.
question
You
for
guys-
Brandon, though. I got a serious question.
Oh, boy.
What was the crowd like in that hall when everything was going on? I mean, I've been in there and I've seen some crazy shit happen, so I just want to know.
It was
not
like
pre-
Endgame.
Also, let's not pretend that everybody watching this hasn't had it spoiled for them if they haven't seen the movie yet. It's everywhere.
I-
But just on the off chance that someone is like Matrix style avoiding.
Here, I'll
Yeah.
put it this way. I'll put it this way. If you've seen it, you'll know what I mean. If you haven't, you'll know there's surprises in the movie. The first big surprise, with the surprise within a surprise, was probably the biggest reaction in Hall H. Like, floor was shaking, like
Okay.
everybody was going
Wow.
crazy.
The
But
beginning of the
then, in the yes, and then later in the movie, the second of those big surprises. I thought the roof was going to blow off Hall H though, and that was a big one. So if you've seen it, you know who or what or when and how I'm talking about. But
It's
it was loud in there,
crazy
and I was sat
how
next to
much-
Rob
yeah.
Liefeld the whole movie.
How much like energy is amplified in Hall H or any kind of con screening. Like I've seen TV show episodes and people are like falling out, and so I can't imagine with this movie.
There's no, Ryan and Hugh sat in the crowd too, like
that's
right
cool.
there in the crowd the
That's
whole
awesome.
movie. Which I mean, and then I thought Ryan Reynolds was going to cry on that stage afterwards
Aw.
because they all went back on stage and he was like, "This was the coolest thing I've ever done." I couldn't tell if he was crying or just tired because he's been all over the world. But then they brought everybody out, so avoid that. I won't say who, but they brought everybody on stage, which is why you were hearing all the people walk out talk about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew. I was like, this dam will not hold. Like, you
Yeah.
could put Gandalf on the bridge, but that Balrog's coming through. Like, I'm going to go see this. So.
Batman, Michelangelo.
I think that was all
of them.
like our free promo of saying, go see Deadpool Wolverine
Yes.
now.
Right now. Go.
Because it's going to be spoiled for you.
It
There's
is.
There's no stopping it. And yeah.
stopping it.
So yeah, that's a good segue to say, as we always do, check out Phase Zero feed because they are going to be deep diving all over this stuff. There's going to be episodes on episodes on episodes and interviews on interviews on interviews.
Don't forget
So
their
if
panel
you
on
are-
Sunday.
Yeah, and there you go. Sorry, I'm doing I thought I was doing a good promotional job for a minute.
That's pretty good. I appreciate
yeah.
both of you guys.
So
Room 29AB at noon.
Yep. We're going to have a Phase Zero Comic-Con panel on Sunday. So, I know you guys got a lot to get off the chest and you want to interact and you want to do all this because you've been seeing Deadpool Wolverine. So if you're at Comic-Con, come find us. All right. Moving on from Deadpool Wolverine. Something lit up the sky over Comic-Con.
Oh, the
and they're
drones.
making us,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
now making us promises in light. Which I take to be sacred, like as a Lord of the Rings fan, like I take any promise in light is sacred. So now we've gotten some big promises about Fantastic Four and Galactus, and I definitely was not out there, but was anybody out there and saw?
No,
I
just
was-
saw the clips.
I was
Yeah.
trying to get into the party at the Hard Rock
I
last
think
night, so I missed it.
We were on
Yeah.
the opposite side of where it would have been anyway. Like we completely would have avoided it. But I saw the clips the next day and like it looks
Cool.
awesome.
Galactus looks.
I don't even
I
know
know.
Looks like
what you guys
classic
are talking about. I
So-
slept
They did
on
a
this
light
couch
show.
last night. That's
After the
how much I've been in this
screening
room.
over Petco Park, they did like a huge Deadpool drone show of just like all of these little images of the two of them, and then it segued into Fantastic Four and like Galactus.
It said
kind of stuff.
Saturday, and it had a Fantastic
See
Four
a
logo on
cloud?
Galactus.
Just kidding.
No,
No,
Let's not go
The cloud was pruned.
Or no, it's canceled. We're not going there.
I
Potential
wish-
Deadpool
never
Wolverine
mind, no
spoilers.
Deadpool
Is there a
Wolverine
cloud?
spoilers?
We don't know.
But now I have a thought.
We'll talk in 10, 15
Yeah.
minutes.
Okay.
No, but yeah, they promised. I mean, they kind of basically teed up that we're going to get. They're positioning Fantastic Four to be a kind of spotlight thing that's going to go down
main
as a Hall
event.
H
Yeah.
main event, and you know, something that I know you guys talk about on Phase Zero a lot and kind of have broken down a lot. I briefly wrote about this, just saying what Marvel could do here when we first heard they were coming back to Hall H. And I was just saying, yeah, just selling the chemistry of that cast is your job. Of course, you know, concept art, all that stuff, but just letting them interact in front of the crowd and kind of selling us on the fact that, you know, this Fantastic Four is going to be, and I'm sorry, fantastic, but like, yeah, can't wait for that one.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, you saw what I did there.
Think they'll make 4 movies?
Hey, that's not the worst joke we've dropped here since we've all walked into this room together.
It is.
What is the Fantastic Four bucket going to look like?
It's not
Herbie.
gonna be dirty.
It's going to be the Thing.
What if it's
going to be some
Herbie?
kind of crazy...
The Thing's mouth.
Yeah.
Oh.
Cut it on jagged rocks.
It stretches the more popcorn
They should give
you
you
put in it.
options.
Oh my
you
God,
know?
stop.
Should be
This is
like-
we're going.
I went wholesome. I was like, I just want a little.
Should be like
gotta
one
cut it
plastic
there.
flames.
God, we
blowing
went right up to the line with that one, Chris.
We
Next
need
topic.
to move on.
Moving on.
Mr. Fantastic stretches.
Yeah.
I said nothing
Next
dirty.
topic.
Yeah, we know where you.
I
Popcorn
said
buckets with
nothing
invisible
dirty.
bottoms. Yeah, we know where this is all going. Let's move
Invisible.
on. I don't know that if we're gonna move somewhere.
$24.99.
Is this better or worse?
Invisible bucket.
I mean, if you're hoping for salvation, our next subject is Alien, and
shit.
the factoids that we learned about Alien at Comic-Con were. Chris Killian, take it
Well,
away.
I don't know what you learned in the panel because like I said, I've lived in this room for 2 days. But when I talked to Fede
showered?
Alvarez, no,
tell he has not.
Wondering.
I've just been going in there with my dude wipes. Is that a sponsorship we can get here on the show? That'd be awesome.
we are
Anyway,
seriously
censor
working.
that.
We're actually
Anyway.
working on it. So yes, it is. We're working on it.
Can we bleep me out?
Yeah, until they give us money. Wipes for calling you out.
Now you got to censor twice.
No, but seriously, because we did learn something crazy about Alien.
I did talk to Fede Alvarez, and I mentioned how Evil Dead, the remake that he directed, had the most blood of any film ever made, and he revealed that this movie might very well have the most lube in any movie
Every
ever made.
Alien movie is super slimy, so I'm not surprised by this.
What's going on at Comic-Con this year?
Deadpool and Wolverine, baby.
I was
Wolverine
gonna
weekend,
say
man.
it set the tone clearly.
Really,
Listen.
Ryan Reynolds is oh god.
Listen,
So Jenna was
hey,
at that Hall H
Yeah,
panel.
I literally just
probably
ran
learned
back from
tons.
the Alien Hall H panel. It looks gnarly. Like I believe that comment about the fluids that are being used in this movie because the footage definitely looks like it. We saw some deaths. We saw chest bursters. They literally brought out puppets and like had them swarm the stage.
And they also
And we all got little masks to wear.
Chris Killian, little mini Chris Killians.
little face hugger.
They gave out face hugger masks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
to
so
everyone.
I am very much looking forward to scaring the TSA agent who has to scan my luggage when I bring this home
yeah.
because they are going to be very confused. You going to put it on, Brandon? The tail's supposed to go
is putting it
behind
on.
you, I think.
Now, I did ask the cast, what do face huggers taste like? So now's your chance to tell us, Brandon.
Smells like Spirit Halloween.
Yeah,
It does,
we recently did an episode talking about this and talking about the trailer, and we were just saying like Fede Alvarez. The difference is Fede Alvarez is that director that like lingers on the shot of a face hugger trying to
Yes.
get you. It's not just instantaneous like in every other Alien movie. It's like they get you. No.
Or if you see
no,
the-
you're fighting that tentacle out of your mouth and out of your throat.
If
and
you
then,
see the
like,
Red Band
yeah,
trailer, the
it's just-
chest burster thing where it's
no.
glowing,
Yeah.
and you see the ribs breaking, it's
disgusting,
so
yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah, so this is why I only saw the Evil Dead remake once and still have never rewatched it. Great crowd experience. Never will do it again. Too many heebie-jeebies. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to Alien Romulus because in all this promotion, we never actually said the name of the film, but it is Alien Romulus. And it is coming out in August, and we have interviews with the cast. Jenna has an excellent kind of breakdown of the panel. So go check all that out because it sounds like we're back with Alien, right?
I think so.
As long as Fade's behind it.
Yeah, I mean,
And not that crackpot Ridley Scott.
Not that guy.
They did.
Just kidding.
So they did do a whole segment. They kept doing video questions.
Nobody's going to come to the studio ever again.
They did
I hope
video
Ridley
questions
Scott's
that were
watching
sent
this
in
right now, and he's offended.
And there were 2 from Ridley Scott. And it was very funny because they would be like, oh, this next person is a big fan of the franchise. He might know a thing or two. And it was just Ridley Scott. But then they had like Guillermo del Toro and like
sweet.
Dan Trachtenberg. And it was a very like kind of cute little bit of it.
Damn,
so.
awesome.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, no, that's nice. All right, yeah. I mean, if we have Alien back and we're getting Predator back, this is all good for my personal agenda. So, yeah. Speaking of things that are back, big presence also here is the continuing Walking Dead universe, a.k.a. the thing that broke Mr. Brandon Davis into this industry in a big
Very
way.
true.
So you're doing. Is this kind of like a crazy full circle moment for you? You're coming here, Walking Dead still here, and
it doesn't even feel like a circle. It just feels like a line that's never going to end. Well, I don't mean that in a bad way. It felt full circle when it was like the main show's finale. But this just the people on that show have always been really, really kind to me and comicbook.com. So I just love when they come in here.
Yeah, I meant just for you, like doing Walking Dead and Marvel, like you're doing big Marvel, big Walking Dead all in one year. Like it's kind of like the full.
Oh yeah, when it's both are going, it's really cool. I mean, I love Norman and Jeff. I love Lauren and Melissa and Greg, and Scott Gimple got COVID, so he couldn't come. I love interviewing Scott because that is where I learned to put people on the spot. Like if you watch my Kevin Feige interview with Deadpool and Wolverine, I wouldn't have been able to navigate that interview and be able to like be present and listen and pivot and have the confidence and comfort to ask questions that I think he might not want to answer. If I hadn't interviewed Scott Gimple so many times, because they're kind of similar in their roles because they both oversee major franchises. They both want to keep their secrets. They both want to share the things they want to share. So you just got to learn to push the right buttons and do that. And also like just they're just also humans who you kind of become kind of friendly with. I don't think Kevin is my friend, even though at the end of our Deadpool and Wolverine interview, I called him Kev and hated myself for it.
Kevin Feige, he's a wily one. Yeah,
he's great, man. He's a chess master.
Not to date myself, but I was for Thor 2. I remember sitting trying to get those Infinity questions out of him after Thor 2.
Next time you interview him, we call him KF.
KF?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Kevster. Keverino.
But yeah, Book of Daryl, or Book of Carol, which is the new Daryl Dixon season 2 is called The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Book of Daryl.
Melissa McBride was like, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, it's just get all those keywords in there.
Yeah.
It's like, what are they, comicbook.com?
I mean, but it works.
Trying to make a headline.
But it works. It got my attention. You said Book of Carol, and now you sit up and have my attention. I'm like,
I don't know, shows called Book of Anything. They don't really have me, but sorry, Book of Boba Fett. That was a jab at you. But no, I'm very excited to see. I know Melissa McBride wanted to be part of season 1. And it was a bummer she wasn't because she was supposed to be part of that show. It was supposed to be Daryl and Carol, and there was reasons why she couldn't be on that. And she is the sweetest woman. Y'all saw her walk in here. She is so sweet. And Norman's a cool dude. And seeing Jeff and Lauren earlier in the day, they're awesome. So it was just cool to get a chance to talk to them. And you'll see those on Comic Book.
All right, so we're kind of wrapping up the stuff we've been doing the first 2 days, but it's not just what happens on the floor or us covering the panels. Crazy stuff happens up here in the room, as you heard. We've held Chris Killian prisoner for a couple of days.
But I got some great stuff.
Yeah, yes, he does. And you had a run-in today, Brandon Davis, to take us out with the cast of Borderlands, who we think we come into these interviews prepared and that we're on top of our game, only to find out sometimes we're in a Saul-style kind of trap house, and there's no getting out. And you found yourself in one of those today.
You should describe Borderlands. So the Borderlands interview. So when I went into the interview, originally they told me it was going to be Edgar, Florian, Kevin, Jamie, and Eli Roth. And then when I got the confirmation email, it was just Kevin, Edgar, and Florian. So I was like, oh, okay. And those things happen all the time. Yeah. These junkets, sometimes people just get pulled out. But I walk in, it's 2 couches this big, right here and right there. And they tell me, sit here, the other 3 are on that couch. So I was like, well, that's a lot of couch for me. I've never seen like a junket with extra room like this. But I was like, okay, whatever. I got an interview to do. Like, you got 8 minutes. I sit down. Everybody's on their phones, just texting, not looking at me. Crew says, all right, we're rolling. So then I was like, all right, I'm ready. And they're all still texting. I was like, what is going on? So they finally put their phones away. They all shake my hand. And then I start the interview and I said, Kevin, Lionsgate keeps telling me it's your first time at Comic-Con. What's the experience been like so far? And he starts going, well, everybody wants to shake your hand. You go around Comic-Con, everybody wants to shake your hand. That's what I've noticed. A lot of people, their hands are sweaty. Now my hand's a little wet, so that's what I've noticed. Everybody at Comic-Con wants to shake your hand. So I was like, oh, okay. So I said, all right, well, everybody, you all 3 are here in San Diego. If you could go to the floor, is there something you geek out about, something you'd want to see? I forget what Florian said, but Kevin goes, I'm a brony. Anything My Little Pony, I go crazy for it. And I was like, I thought he was kidding. And then he
Shout out
named like
Pinkie
a
Pie.
yeah what.
Shout out Pinkie Pie.
Well, maybe that's what I don't even know what Pinkie Pie is, but it sounds like a brony thing. But so he said something so specific that I was like, oh, he must actually be a brony. So then he's like, if I find somebody with that, I will fight him for it. If it's the last one, I will go there. I'm an action movie star now. I'm an action star, so I'll fight him for it. And I was like, well, let's talk about being an action star because I'm trying to reel it in because I'm like, this is going off the rails. Let's talk about Borderlands. He says, yeah, man, I worked so hard to be an action star of Borderlands. I think I have a future in it. I really had a good time, and I think I look cool doing it. I'm paraphrasing. I don't know if that's exactly what he said, or really even close. Point is, he was hyping himself up as an action star. Florian from across the couch says, Kevin, I don't think you're an action star. Oh. And I was like, what? And then they start going back and forth. And I, at one point, even did like the Kevin Hart, because I had no control over this interview. And so at one point, Florian disses him again about his height. And I did the Kevin Hart, Don Cheadle moment. And I was just like, damn. Nobody even acknowledged me. I was like, what is going on? And then he made a joke about like, it goes back to shaking hands and all this. Makes me miss COVID, man, because we weren't shaking hands. And I was like, what is happening? So then Jamie Lee Curtis and Eli Roth come barging in the room. They start talking about Kevin Hart's height, making fun of him. I was like, he's sitting down. Leave him alone. And then they pulled out earpieces, and they were making us prank you. We were being told what to say, and we all had to try to say ridiculous things to see what you would do. And I was like, I popped laughing. But it's probably like the best interview we could have got out of that because I hope it's as funny as it was for me to experience because it was ridiculous.
Well, I don't need to watch it now though.
Yeah, I feel like I lived it.
You just gave the full recap.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
So we just saved you.
Borderlands just got a free 3 minutes here on Comic Book Nation.
Yeah, there we go. There's
Also,
the hype.
I'm bleeping that out. I'm bleeping that out until they pay us too. Sorry.
Oh, we can't even.
I please don't bleep it out. I love the team at Lionsgate. The people at Lionsgate, they put on such good junkets, and this was such a creative thing. I love working with the Lionsgate crew.
I just want to commend you on your Kevin Hart impression, though.
Just kind of happens,
I
man.
felt like I was
good.
right there.
Yeah.
If you close your eyes, it's like he's here, right?
I thought so for a
You
second.
got the cadence
Thank you.
down. That was,
I just-
that was a
taller,
good Kevin
though.
Hart.
People who listen to Phase Zero know I'm an impression master,
Well,
actually.
It probably is because
Yeah.
he's sitting down right now.
Oh,
I'm probably taller than him at this
my
moment.
God. Listen,
Rein it
Kevin
in.
Hart. Yeah, no smoke.
Rein it in, Kofi.
As you can
Send us
see,
home.
we are starting to get a little bit tired in the brain. It is time to
Starting
go
to.
out, find some food, find some drinks, and have a good time in the culture of Comic-Con. This is Comic Book Nation. We are the only show that does it all for geek culture and the official podcast of comicbook.com. Subscribe on your podcast platforms. We have segments for anime, gaming, comic books, our live show, and as I said, if you are an MCU head, go over to the Phase Zero feed and be sure to be up on all the latest coverage of Deadpool, Wolverine, and everything beyond. Chris Killian, you know where to find him. He's on every big interview we throw out there that's not also, a good Brandon Davis interview. So just keep watching the Comic Book main channel for all our Comic-Con coverage. We'll check in with you guys again. We're getting out of here. I'm out of here.
Wait, can I teach you guys how to do a British mic drop?
No. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
We out.
Peace,